Hello! My name is Sophia. Yep, I got a haircut, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. So I recently decided that I really don't care about editing and I don't have the time, and I got my sewing machine back, so sorry YouTube, you're taking a back seat because at the end of the day, I really want to be able to make clothes. That's a new long-term goal that I have, so this is going on the back burner. But I still do want to make videos. Thank you for my fella that hit me up on Instagram. You are fantastic and I love you. Thanks for supporting me, and I hope others can find enjoyment as well. But anyways, I want to get into the topic of the video. I could see the time on my camera, my iPhone. So I'm gonna keep it quick. I'm gonna talk about podcasts. Just one podcast though. So I lost my sewing machine, so I was kind of bored, and I ran out of things on YouTube to watch because I only watch vloggers or artists, and sometimes you watch vloggers and artists and then you get really down and you're like, either your life is too boring at the current moment, your art is too good at the current moment, or you just don't want to watch YouTube. It really happens. So, to get a hobby instead, started listening to podcasts. Just one though. The GQ Fashion Customer Service Podcast, Corporate Lunch. There are currently like 101 podcasts out from them. And in like 1 week, I watched all 101 podcasts. So this is what I have to say. It was very interesting to just listen to them all one after the next, but I actually started in the middle. I started at like episode 47 or something, and then I watched all the way through, and then I went back to number 1 and I watched up to 46, and it really teaches you a lot. First of all, I'll make some comments about the podcast itself. I love it. It's such a good podcast. I love Noah, I love Sam, I love Rachel, I love Will. I miss Will so much. Oh my god, Will! Their guests are also really good, but they are just a fantastic, bunch of lads. And as they commonly say, Samuel Hine is really a god among men, and really only one of the few men that I trust. So thank you for that. I love you, Samuel Hine. But yeah, the podcast is great, and I learned a lot about brands and fashion in general. I recommend, not about fashion, but the episode about hanging out. Great. Good ep, and I'm going to apply that to my life. But that's not what I really want to talk about because it really made me interested. Just in general, a podcast is about an hour of people talking. And I listen to the same 4 people talk about whatever for over, probably over 100 hours. That's a lot. I have not talked to my friends that much, but I know so much about these fellas. I know that Samuel Hine is 6'4", but he has a twin brother that's 6'5". Who knows that? I have never met this guy in my life before. That's crazy. Why do I know that? But I know so much about these people. Well, kind of. I know, but it's kind of weird. And on YouTube, you watch vloggers, and it's you think you know them, but you don't. And I just find it uncomfortable. And this is my first day without corporate lunch in my life. For the past week or 2, I have no clue how long it took me to listen to all 101 podcasts. But at the last couple of days, I've just been listening to them nonstop for all of my waking hours, which is just an excessive amount. But yeah, I just know way too much about these people, and I love them, and I appreciate them, and they make me a little bit happy, but that's a little weird. One time I told one of my friends that I brought up something about his family, like, not having baldness, like, be, like, running in his family. He's like, bro, how do you know that? But he told me. So imagine how weird it is to just have these random people just, like, in an industry that I might want to join one day. By the way, guys, when you write an article about me in GQ, I'll call you out. I'll be happy. But anyways, besides the point, and also faraway dream. But yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. And that applies to vloggers. That applies to everyone on YouTube. How much content are you going to consume before you're like, this person is my friend? Which is low-key my branding as well. I am Sophia, your friend, because I don't really do much to filter myself in any sort of way. So it's really weird. It's strange. It's very strange. But it's also good. And now I feel kind of empty that I don't have these people in my life until like a couple of days when they release the next episode. What a weird dependence. Yeah, so that's my thoughts. This also applies to like social media, like on Twitter and Instagram. Like you follow certain people and you're like, I love them so much, but then like, have you ever seen someone like just drop out of Twitter for a minute and then you're like, I'm missing the livelihood. What is my timeline if not for this person tweeting about, I don't know, what they ate for lunch or something. You know, it's weird. None of you know me. I don't know any of you. And yet I might feel unnecessarily attached. That's a little strange. I'm not a fan, but I'm also a fan. I enjoy it. Like it's a pastime. It's just weird to think about. But yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts. Please listen to Corporate Lunch. It's really good. Really love all of the lads on there. Every single one of them. When Will started just like not showing up to the podcast a lot, it really made me sad. That was like but now I get like unnecessarily happy when he's on the podcast. Like it's so weird. It's so weird the dynamic that I've developed with this podcast. It's like, why do I care this much? But yeah, it's a good podcast. I'm not going to start a new podcast anytime soon because it kind of is a big commitment for me. So I have to go back to sewing in silence or to music. Oh, they also got me into Grateful Dead. Yeah, it's such a vibe. But anyways, podcast, Corporate Lunch makes me very happy and I love them so much. That's all I have to say. I'm just gonna make videos about what makes me happy. That's all I have. That's all I have for you fellas. Comment your favorite podcast below. I'm particularly interested in learning about the fashion industry, so if you have anything geared towards that, that would be cool, but anything really. Up to suggestions. I'm always changing what my life is about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Fit check. I am wearing a slip dress and a hoodie. And also I'm wearing wedges because I was listening to some Japanese indie song and it just fit the vibe so much I needed to be fancy. So yeah, that's it. Goodbye. Yeah, I don't have an outro yet, but goodbye. Hey, I just want to apologize for saying that's my thoughts instead of those are my thoughts. I really don't think about grammar when I rant, so...